So this is what we're looking at now. Honestly, I know it's through the plastic and stuff like that, but I don't even see the line right now. All right, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. So I had an unfortunate situation this morning on my way to work, and from the oncoming way there was a construction truck, a big one, and what do you know, it ended up peppering a little bit of the hood with some rocks, and it caught the windshield. Oh, don't know if you can see it. There's what they call the bullseye, and then this crack line right here. So it's not extremely bad, but definitely noticeable, and I don't want it to spread anymore or get worse. So I'm going to give this product a shot. Windshield repair kit from Rain-X. Watched a couple videos on it, read the back, heard the guy at the counter say good stuff. So, you know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, so we're gonna go ahead and give this a shot. I do know that the bullseye or the direct hits, you want to use this base. I'm not sure how well that's gonna work for my situation. Mine caught it right at the edge, so as you can see, this whole piece right here, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to dial in directly on that. So as far as these lines go, they said just to take the resin and kind of just squirt it on the line, and you're going to have little clear pieces of tape or plastic that you put over it, but I'll go through all that with the video on each step that I'm doing. Real quick before we get going, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Joey. He's been doing a little bit of 3D printing. He made me this extension arm for the GoPro. Originally I wanted it for more of a POV when I'm driving, especially when I get my car back, but now it's going to actually work, come in clutch, because I kind of want to be over as much as I can, getting a better view of this. So even got my logo in there. It ain't gonna focus, but you see it. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm going to be able to put it to good use right now. So all right, here we are. There's no significant benefit to having the tape on here other than the fact that it cuts down the glare so you guys can see what I'm doing. You can see the crack a little bit better too. So this is going to be the part. I'm not sure about the bullseye area. Again, the application that it has, I'm not going to be able to utilize it the way that it was designed. So I'll probably do to this like I'm going to do this crack, but apparently that resin, you just put it along the crack and it kind of soaks its way in there. You go really slow. You got to really take your time with it. I'm assuming that's for air bubbles, but you take your time with it and fill it in, so on and so forth. So I'll walk through the steps. Right now, step one, again, if you want to do the tape, it definitely helps. So that it would help you, but also this video. So step one, I guess, would be putting tape behind it. But I'm going to take a microfiber towel and going to use some isopropyl alcohol. 91% is what I use. It's just stronger. Clean this section. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that now. Here's the pieces. So this is that portion I was talking about that is suction cups to it. Then you'll have this main part right here, this bigger part. You'll put that in. You'll kind of, you know, aim right above your affected area, your what they call a bullseye, and then you'll put that right down up against it, and then put a little bit of pressure on it, and then you would next take this resin right here, and you'd fill it up inside there. You'd fill it up inside there, and then you'd use this kind of plunger system, screw that in and kind of chase it behind it and more or less pressure it and force that that resin into the crack. So we're going to end up skipping that step. We don't need that step. We're going to take the resin, we're going to go along the crack very slowly. Very, you know, we're gonna cut the tip off and we're gonna apply the resin very slowly. You should be able to see the crack kind of disappearing. It's going to be filling it up and taking out the air pockets along the way. If there is air pockets, they got a little method where they say push on the apply pressure to the windshield. I'm going to try to avoid that. I don't want to worsen the crack and have more of a repair to fix or cause more damage. So I'm going to take the resin, slowly apply it at the same rate that it's disappearing. Then once you can't see the line no more, apparently at a 45-degree angle, then you're going to go ahead and go along the line one more time, kind of fill it up, let it overflow, and then you're going to put these plastic sheets all on top of it, kind of push down and stuff. I think that's just to kind of make it a hard layer over the whole thing. Then you then you take the car out of the shade and you put it in direct sunlight. I don't really have direct sunlight that I see, so I'm not sure if that's going to be more or less an issue. I think that it's probably just for the UV rays to help, you know, accelerate the curing. So that's what we're going to hope for. Other than that, they say always apply it in the shade and stuff like that, and that's what makes me think that the UV rays is what dries it out. If you apply it in the shade, no direct sunlight, then you have a little bit more time to work with your product. As far as visually watching it disappear, I'm seeing it, you know, I'm seeing it definitely helping. It also said allow 5 to 10 minutes to cure, so we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back to it and we'll see what we think. All right, it's been about 15 minutes. I can actually see a pretty big difference in it. It's got globbing and stuff on it from the resin, but as far as the crack goes, it's pretty translucent. You can't really notice it that bad. So next step, now we go over it kind of heavy on the cracks, and then we'll apply those plastic sheets on it, kind of cover the whole area, smush it down so that it kind of spews out a little bit, and then we got to park this in direct sunlight. The sun's out now, so now's probably a good time. The next move is to park it in sunlight and let it sit in direct sunlight for, I think it said 10 minutes, 10 to 15. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right, been sitting in. As you can tell now, the sunlight's kind of moved out of the way, but it was sitting out here for maybe a good 20 minutes. So this is what we're looking at now. Honestly, I know it's through the plastic and stuff like that, but I don't even see the line right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and move the car back over to the driveway and go ahead and take it apart and see what we got. All right, here we are back in the driveway. Go ahead and peel these off. When you set it down, obviously don't have the resin touching the paint. So some parts to it looks like probably still needs to cure some more. They provided a razor blade. Now that razor blade is what you're going to use to get off the resin once it's dry. Seems like the resin is dried. The directions stated that if it's still wet and stuff like that, put the film back on it, put it back in direct sunlight and let it cure. As far as everything else that I'm touching, it's pretty cured. So this is the razor blade they provided. So we'll go ahead and get that out of there and start scraping it. They said technique wise, just 90 degrees up, just like this, going back and forth. I probably wouldn't go carving it, to each their own, but they said go back like this and it's going to basically shave it off. You're going to keep going and going and going until it's basically all off. That way you know you're just really flush with the crack and you're not leaving nothing on the window. It's supposed to look and feel very smooth. So 90 degrees back and forth, shave the hell out of it until there's nothing left. All right, all done. Scraped it all off, removed the tape from the inside. If there's anything I can say about this product is that very simple to use, does require patience, and obviously you're not replacing the windshield, keep that in mind. So what you're doing is just filling the crack. It's still a crack. You can probably get a little bit better results, you could probably get worse results. As far as what's happened here, I say it was a damn good job. I could have done more on this. Again, the way that kit's designed with the plunger thing and what they call the target, which I'm assuming is exactly, or the bullseye, which I'm assuming is exactly where the rock hits. It chips it up pretty good, and it's kind of deep and more of a crater. And so without being able to use that applicator they had and dial it in and force it in with that little plunger, I'm not too surprised, but I'm still pleased with how it turned out. As far as that crack goes, damn near 100% gone. I'm absolutely impressed with the Rain-X brand. Very impressed with it. So as you've seen how the steps were, straightforward. If you need a better reference, something better than me, it comes with instructions. There's a bunch of videos on there explaining how to do it, but definitely worth the $20 or $15 that I spent for the product itself. I probably have a little bit more resin in it. I can go through and check a couple more chips. Actually, I do have a chip and more in the center. Right here. I got a chip more in the center right here when I bought the car. So maybe I can try that plunger thing on that. But as far as the main goal goes, I say it's a success. So as usual, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you're looking to fix one of your little cracks or rock chips in your windshield for under $20 in your driveway, maybe an hour's worth of time. And the hour is quite a long time. I mean, this should probably take about 30 minutes, but you just want to make sure, have direct sunlight, apply it in the shade, and then once you got it filled into the crack, you put more on it, apply that clear paper, then park it in direct sunlight again. I think that's what cures it and dries it real good. Take that razor blade and scrape it all off and you should be good to go.